His mother believes some in the community know where he is.
And everybody that's holding, everybody that's hiding, they're going down too. Y'all ain't sleeping. We ain't sleeping. Y'all ain't either. Please believe it.
We just want to appeal to our community to let them know that he shouldn't be, that we shouldn't shield.
It was back in June of 2020 when Nakia was running errands and sitting in her vehicle with her grandmother. They were at a stoplight in Cleveland when a black car fired multiple rounds into the car. We shared this story almost 2 years ago. After many expressed their deep concerns online about no arrest in Nakia's case, the FBI joined on and finally found her attacker. But it was 2 years later, hiding in another state under a new name. With the recent reports of another black woman being murdered named Shanquilla Robinson, we don't want to wait another 2 years for justice. After a long manhunt, investigation, and trial last week, the man accused of murdering Nakia was finally convicted for the crime. 18-year-old Nakia Crawford lived in Cleveland and was a recent North High School graduate. Nakia had a promising future as she was planning to attend Central State University in Wilberforce in fall of 2020. On June 14, while stopped at a traffic light, the young girl was shot in the car while she was running errands with her grandmother, who wasn't wounded in the incident. Initially, when the case caught national attention, some of the witnesses said that the attacker appeared to be white, indicating that this was possibly racially motivated.
We on the corner of Howard and North Street. Somebody just got shot in the car. She's at the light.
Someone shot someone?
Yes.
A white male in a black Mustang?
Yes.
Okay.
With all the rumors going around, this case also caught the attention of a popular attorney named Ben Crump and professional basketball player LeBron James. Eventually, the FBI joined on. According to the FBI, the incident was a case of mistaken identity and 3 black young adults were arrested in connection to the crime.
On Sunday, June 14th, 2020, shortly after 1 p.m., Nakia Crawford, 18, and a recent graduate from North High School, was running errands with her grandmother, Lynn Williams. Kia was driving her white 2017 Chevy Malibu, and Miss Williams was the front seat passenger. Approximately 1:25 in the afternoon, Miss Crawford was driving east on West North Street and stopped at the red light at the intersections of North Street and Howard Street. Witnesses described a black, newer model, possibly Chevy Camaro type vehicle, stopped directly behind Miss Crawford's car. The car pulled along the driver's side of Miss Crawford's vehicle, and then an unknown suspect or suspects fired multiple rounds into the side of Nakia Crawford's car. Suspect drove away east on North Street through the intersection and continued eastbound. Witnesses described the car as having tinted windows and possibly a pink insignia or writing on the hood. Miss Crawford was shot multiple times. Tragically, she died later that night at the hospital. Miss Williams was not injured, though. Detectives from the Akron Police Department Crimes Against Persons Unit have been investigating this case since it occurred on Sunday. We have devoted hundreds of man-hours to investigating this crime, and detectives have located and recovered the vehicle used in the commission of this murder. It is a 2015 Chevy Camaro. That vehicle was located in Cleveland. As you can see, matches the description of surveillance video that we had put out earlier. Also indicating there is the graphics that were on the hood of the vehicle as seen earlier. Less than an hour ago, detectives have signed warrants on 2 individuals connected to this crime. A third warrants were also signed, and he is cooperating with detectives. Right now, it appears that this was a case of mistaken identity, that Nakia Crawford was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing indicates that they had prior knowledge of the victim.
On June 18, 2020, authorities identified Adarus Black as the suspected shooter, charging him with murder, and they had a warrant out for his arrest. The 2 other suspects, Jaion Bivins and Janisha George, also were charged in the incident.
17 years old, the date of birth of 11/9/2002. He is from Lakemore. He is charged in the murder of Nakia Crawford. It's a felony of the first degree. He's also known to hang out in the Akron area. Janisha, a warrant on file has also been assigned on Jaion Bivins. He's 18 years old, the date of birth of 11/5/2001. He's from Akron. He is charged with obstructing justice and obstructing official business. Both are felonies of the third degree. The third person charged in connection to this is Janisha George, 24 years old. Date of birth of 3/1996. She is from Talmadge and is charged with obstructing justice, a felony of the third degree.
Authorities said that Bivins agreed to cooperate with the police and planned to turn himself in. They also urged Black and George to follow his lead to arrange their surrender.
We are in contact with the lawyer of Jaion Bivins, and he is cooperating. We do expect him to turn himself in shortly. I'm asking that Adarus Black and Janisha George contact the Akron Police Department, 375-2490, to arrange to have yourselves turned in.
But only George agreed. That wasn't the case for Black. He decided to go on the run. After this press conference came out, so many twists and turns came about in the case. Ben Crump decided not to represent Nakia anymore.
Well, that's right, Homer. The Crawford family told me today that Attorney Crump was supposed to take part in today's news conference, but now he is distancing himself from the family. Here's what Mr. Crawford had to say about that.
He's been basically after the publicity, after this and everything. He set this up and he bailed on us on this conference we're having right now, Ben Crump.
The family went on to say that he's fake. We reached out to Ben Crump's team today for comment on the family's strong words. At this point, we haven't heard back.
And the two other suspects in the case that were in the car, charges were dropped.
The details in a one-page letter from prosecutors.
I'm blown away to even hear that.
Prosecutors have dropped tampering with evidence and obstructing justice charges against Jaion Bivins and an obstructing justice charge against Janisha George.
It adds insult to injury. It almost feels as though it's a justice is slapping them in the face.
In the letter, prosecutors wrote, with Black's whereabouts unknown, we do not believe the case is ready to be presented to the grand jury and that police need more time to find Black.
On November 10, 2020, the FBI's office started to share more information about the suspect. The police decided to share more images of Black in the media, hoping it will help him be found.
Very brazen, very dangerous.
Today, in an attempt to find him, one day after Black's 18th birthday, the FBI releasing this wanted poster. I have also learned they will be plastering his face on billboards across Northeast Ohio in an attempt to find him.
We are concerned that he's still armed and dangerous, and we're asking anyone with any information on where he has been, even if he's not there right now. Where has he been? Give us a call and so we can put the pieces together.
Black has ties to several different states, including Michigan, where his father is serving a life sentence in prison for drug trafficking and escaping custody. While his father was on the run, he had plastic surgery to alter his face and fingerprints to avoid being caught.
Black remained at large for 2 years. At the time, the FBI said that he may have family ties across Northeast Ohio, Tennessee, Michigan, and California, but the whole time he was in Atlanta, Georgia. February 8, 2020, members of the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force announced they received a tip that Black was living in Atlanta under a fake name. The tip also told them he was in possession of firearms at the time, so they needed to be careful. It turned out that Black was in the Sandy Springs area of Georgia. Therefore, Sandy Springs conducted a traffic stop in this area, leading Black to be arrested within 24 hours of that tip.
Watch crossfire. Passenger,
Crossfire.
Open the door with one hand.
Step out.
Let her step out.
Step out.
Somebody go hands with that.
Step out.
Do not move.
Do not move.
Do not move.
Put my hands in cuffs. Put them in cuffs. Put them in cuffs. I'm
Come
hand
here.
you. I'm hand you.
Lean forward.
Listen. I can't put it in cuffs first, please.
Keep your hands.
I can't. Listen.
I got. Hey, relax. Listen. Relax. I know it is.
Take it.
Stay like this. Stay. Get on your belly. What's your name? What's your name? What is your name?
Check the tat on guard.
What's your name? What is your name? Your name is You Got Me?
After his arrest, he was arraigned and held on a $1 million bond. The first week of November 2022 was the trial for Nakia's case. Opening statements took place on Wednesday morning. Lynn Williams, Nakia's grandmother, who was the first witness in the trial, shared about the drive-by that claimed the life of her granddaughter. Her grandmother also revealed that the car that they were in, a Chevy Malibu, was actually her high school graduation gift. Williams also made it known on the stand that she did not see who shot her granddaughter or what type of vehicle they were driving. Prosecutors emphasized that the evidence presented in the case showed Black was in the car involved in the drive-by, including from a cyber check, a new technology tool that found Black's profile on the street at the same time as the incident. On the contrary, John Alexander, one of Black's attorneys, emphasized that the evidence prosecutors lacked to tie his client to the slaying includes being able to see his image clear on the surveillance, DNA, or fingerprints. Nonetheless, on November 8, 2022, Black was found guilty after 4 hours of deliberating.
Juror number 1, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 2, is this your verdict?
Yes. Adarus Black, guilty of killing Nakia. That's right, and Adarus Black had very little reaction when a jury here at the Summit County Courthouse found him guilty of murder. But the victim's family was very emotional outside of the courtroom and told me they had a sense of relief for the first time in 27 months.
Although Black plans to appeal, his sentencing is scheduled for November 30th at 1 p.m. The two others who had initially been charged in the case, Bivins and George, both had their charges dismissed without prejudice. This is still an issue for many people, although dismissal without prejudice allows prosecutors to bring charges at a later date. People following this case still believes they should have been charged.